Medicaid at the state level right now takes a bigger portion of our budget than the K through 12 education system. I don't know if many people know that. And to go to Medicaid expansion is just going to bankrupt us. And this is just not a good idea. We're finding more and more doctors that are refusing Medicare and Medicaid patients. We're already faced with a doctor shortage as well as a teacher shortage, but that's a different issue. We're going to force the state to create more positions for doctors, and this just becomes a circular argument to the point where we're going to basically kill the profession and just ruin our healthcare system.
Why don't you reiterate what you said to your constituents?
Oh, I want to tell you that our District 3 rejected Medicaid expansion, so this business of 41 or 61% of the state approving it, that does not apply to my district, and I support the will of the people in my district.
Anyway, just one thing on Medicaid expansion. There was so much misinformation on that, but years ago, growing up in Kellogg, and you hear things like, we send our money to the federal government, and they keep it, we want our money back. And that was used in the Medicaid expansion thing. Everybody said, we send money to the federal government, we want our $360 million back. The fact is, for every dollar that Idaho sends to DC, we get roughly $1.30 back. People don't know that. Because of the federal lands issue, we do not have the revenue that a lot of other states do. So that's it. And that plays really well. You tell people, we want our money back. Well, yeah, I want my money back too. And without knowing the truth about that, a lot of people, I think, when I mention that to people, a lot of people, I say that we get more than we give. So that might have changed their vote on this Medicaid expansion thing. And there's so many reasons why it's bad. The House.
I ditto what Tony said, ditto from what Ron said. I thought Medicaid expansion was bad from the very get-go. And I don't know, I see a lot of people from District 3 here. I was asked what I thought about it, and I told them, they asked me, I was against it. But I said, don't believe me, there's gonna be information coming in from all sides. Do your due diligence. And you guys did, because of we came in like a third lowest in the state. So you guys did your due diligence in it and showed it. And also, the 90-10 split worries me. I used to work Department of Homeland Security and National Security matters, but our building was close to Health and Human Services. There was rumors way back when that there was a 90-10 split that was going to be reduced. So it was a bad deal to begin with, and it still is a bad deal. Thank you.
Well, my district, District 4, Coeur d'Alene, did pass it. And even though during the campaign I sent out information to try to explain to people why it was a concern, what the areas of impact were that I wasn't going to support, our district passed it, and I pledged that I would follow the will of my district.
There are so many concerns. We are talking about these sideboards that the federal government starts giving us less than 90% of the program, then it'll go away. But unfortunately, the CAT fund and the indigent fund will have already gone away. So if that's the case, Medicaid is not going away because there'll be no other option.
I'm also in District 2, and I want to thank the voters of District 2 for recognizing the dangers. District 2 had the least support for Medicaid expansion of any district in the state.
It's because we're the best district.
But there's been a lot of things mentioned. I'm just going to mention a couple more. And that is that when they were promoting this on the ballot, they said it would affect 62,000 people in Idaho. That number is already 91,000 by the estimates that we're getting, possibly as high as 110,000. And roughly 20,000 of those people that will be on Medicaid expansion are people who are eligible and buying their own insurance on the insurance exchange. And so we're taking people who were buying their own insurance, and they will no longer be eligible to buy their own insurance. They will have to, if they want insurance, be part of Medicaid expansion. So there's more, there's more that just keeps coming. And I want to address, I think it was Representative Mendai mentioned that we get more back, and so we're getting our own money back. In fact, in my opinion, this 90% share that the federal government pays, which would be $500 million maybe, is a year, is all borrowed money. So when we in effect are asking our children and our grandchildren to pay for health insurance for people now. And I have a real problem with that. I'm thankful that I represent a district that understands those dangers. I am working, because I believe it's going to pass, I'm working on the sideboards, but I am not going to support the funding for Medicaid expansion when it comes through, because it's the tip of the iceberg, whatever you want to call it, and for all the reasons that have been mentioned before. Thank you.
The short version is, and I'll go in a minute, I'll go through some of what happened this week. The short version is, the will of the people has laid before us some language and said, do this thing. And it's very short and concise, but it includes no funding. So going forward, I've decided I'm going to give in to the will of the people, and unless a bill comes before me that's taken the language of that referendum and put it into a bill with no additions, including funding, my vote will be no.
Medicaid budget is coming before joint finance on Wednesday. And so we plan to find the money from the state budget to fund current Medicaid expansion as it exists in state law. And in that instance, I will be voting for it because that's our responsibility to follow the state law in Joint Finance and Appropriations Committee. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not looking forward to enhanced bills like Senator Souza mentioned, that I do think there are some improvements that could be made.
Don asked us the question, I said no, and that's because, quite frankly, we're not going to see a bill like that, okay? That's the reality of this. I'll agree with most everything or a lot of things said by the people here. So there is, as of what happened Friday, there is not going to be a bill before us to vote on that's going to approve Medicaid expansion as written. So what we're in the situation now is, because it's law and it's some of the things that Vito has said, what can we do that we can best improve this law? And so that's what's going to be before everybody who votes here. Okay, that's the factual question that he asked. So there are things that can improve this law. There are things that can improve the intent of helping people in this law. I truly believe there are a couple that we won't get into. And then we also have to protect the whole Idaho taxpayer. So the question is, what can we find a solution for that's out there today between what is passed in the Senate and what the House is going to do to look at? And that's what we are going to vote on.